Hello, I'm Jake Hutchison, and I'm here today with a special edition of Know Your Schools. I'm here with Miss Dono, who's going to be telling us about her upcoming surgery. So there's a number of different conditions that can cause liver failure. So what caused your brother's liver failure?
So when my brother was in middle school, he was diagnosed with PSC, or primary sclerosing cholangitis. And what it is they're not really sure of the origin, but they believe that it's an autoimmune disease that attacks specifically your biliary ducts, which are like the little ducts that flow through your liver and pass bile.
Right.
So when that happens, instead of your liver recreating like healthy tissue, it recreates scar tissue, which essentially turns your entire liver into scar tissue, backing up everything into your system.
Right. So I understand that the process can be fairly detailed, becoming a living donor.
Yes.
So can you tell us about some of the process that you had to go through to become a viable donor for your brother?
So the first step, if somebody wants to become a living donor, is the recipient has to be listed first. And how they become listed is with their team of doctors, and then their case is presented to UNO, so the United Network for Organ Sharing. And what they do is they regulate all of the transplant, the organs, the recipients, the donors. And they make sure that people aren't like buying, selling, and they just regulate it. So once someone is listed and you are interested in becoming a living donor, you would then reach out to the hospital that they are registered at, their living donor coordinator. And usually there's like 2 or 3 for the entire hospital. And once you've contacted them, they put you through phases. So most hospitals have 2 or 3 phases. I'm going to be having my surgery out of Montefiore Hospital in the Bronx, so they have a 2-phase program. So the first phase is just general blood work. They match you for livers based on your blood type. You have to be a matching blood type. And then they do like liver panels. They make sure you have no underlying conditions. They send you generally for MRIs, CAT scans, chest x-rays. You have to undergo a psychiatric evaluation just to make sure that you understand like the risks, the complications, and the procedure as a whole. They want to make sure that you are of able mind and body to make the decision to obviously give up a large percentage of your vital organ. And then once you've made it through all of that and you've been cleared, then it's really just setting a date.
Right. So overall, a lengthy process.
Very, very lengthy. And sometimes like if you're, like my MRI came back like inconclusive, so I had to go and do a CT scan, which was a totally separate day.
Okay. So going off the last question, can you tell me about the team of doctors that will be working on you and your brother?
They're amazing. They're actually husband and wife.
Really?
Believe it or not.
Wow.
Yeah. So the husband takes the organ out of me and the wife puts it into my brother.
Wow.
So we are taken into the operating room at the same time, and what they do is they check my organ first, make sure like there's no underlying complications inside of the body that they couldn't see with imaging. And then there are 2 general surgeons, 2 assisting surgeons, and then a team of nurses for each of us. So that's a lot of medical professionals like in a room at the same time, which I'm kind of nervous about. And then once my procedure is done, they sew me up and then they move to his procedure.
Right. So depending on certain conditions, different amounts of the donor's liver can be removed and placed into the recipient.
Yes.
So how much of your liver are you donating to your brother, and how much of his own liver is he keeping?
He's keeping none of his. He's actually losing his liver, his spleen, and his gallbladder.
Wow. Okay.
Because everything is diseased as a result of what he has.
Right.
So with living liver donors, you have 2 lobes to your liver, and it's segmented into 8 functional parts. So you have your right lobe and your left lobe. Your left lobe is significantly smaller than your right lobe, and generally left lobe transplantation occurs from adult to pediatric patients because it's a smaller size. Adult to adult is generally right lobe. So like I'm giving my right lobe, which is approximately 60% of my liver, but you can actually live and like function on less than 25%.
Okay.
So.
Wow. So I know that in the past, it's usually the only option was deceased donor transplants, and especially in the past 10 years, live donor transplants have become much more popular because of new technology and availability. So can you tell us how you feel that you're potentially saving your brother's life by donating your liver to him?
I think it's amazing, and I'm humbled that I'm able to do it, and I'm just awestruck at the medical professionals that do this every single day. Realistically, 1 in every 5 transplants is from a living donor. So it's actually not as common as many people think it is, as much as we'd like it to be. Right now, there's over 118,000 people currently waiting on the wait list, and approximately 22 of those die every single day waiting. If I didn't donate, my brother was looking at potentially 7 to 9 years estimated on being on a list, and you don't know that you'll ever get one. So it's a really, really amazing thing. I try not to think like too much of it because obviously it makes me nervous, but it's exciting, and I think he's excited, and my family's excited to kind of just see what this brings.
That's wonderful.
It is. It is.
Well, thank you for being here with us today. For NHSTV, I'm Jake Hutchison here with Miss Dono.
Bye, guys.